Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be having a rant, and this is about UK companies not giving a complete crap about their staff workers, their employees. But before we jump in, if you like this sort of content, you want to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. We're going to start right now. In this video, I am not going to talk about the thing that gets your video kind of pushed down into the algorithms of YouTube, because today I am really angry about a few companies. Now, if you're not from the UK, you probably not know about Sports Direct and Weatherspoons. The best way that I could really kind of describe them is Sports Direct is a sports store where you can buy like stuff for sports, obviously, and Weatherspoons is a food chain that is pretty much right around the whole of the United Kingdom, where you can eat food and you can drink and spend time. It's basically a pub stroke bar, etc, etc. Now, on this one, we're going to be looking at two websites that have kind of talked about this, and I'm glad that the companies are being called out. Let's start off with Weatherspoons. Now, I used to like going to Weatherspoons, I really did, but from now on, I am boycotting them. I am never going to step foot inside one of their bars ever again. And to be fair, I'm just so angry at this. With the thing that cannot be named going around and getting to people, a lot of companies are turning around and offering to pay their wages, like for the time that they're closed, because this is something that obviously has never really happened in such a long time. Companies like Costa, I think probably Starbucks, are all basically saying you're all off sick, all the staff members are, and they are getting their wages. And our UK government have actually said that they will pay up to, I think it's actually 80%, or they will pay 80% of people's wages that have been lost. Thus therefore making companies pay the rest of the 20%. Now, Weatherspoons. Tim Martin is the main person that runs all the Weatherspoons. He is the CEO. And he pretty much told all his entire workforce that you can go work at Tesco's rather than work for Weatherspoons. Now, Weatherspoons have said that they are not going to pay any money to them. Basically, they won't pay their wages for work time that they're closed. And this is absolutely disgusting, because the way that I see this is pretty much is that he's got his fortune now. He's fine. He opened that probably small chain of Weatherspoons to begin with, and then now he's just pretty much sitting on this a lot of money, not giving a fuck. But he will give a fuck as soon as all the staff members quit. Can you imagine telling like your entire workforce go to somewhere else? And they do. They literally just hand in their keys. There's going to be no one there to run your business, and you're going to lose more money in the long run rather than paying for the time that everyone's off and actually make them feel like they're staff. Now, this to me feels like you've just pretty much used a workforce and you don't give a crap, which is clearly shown. So I'm going to read some articles here. We have one from the National, which tells a bit more. It says Weatherspoons boss tells staff to go work at Tesco after leaving them with no pay. Weatherspoons boss Tim Martin told staff to go work at Tesco if they don't want to wait until the end of April to be paid. Now, you kind of think that you would want to pay your staff. You would want to be one of those businesses that really kind of cares about your workers, rather than getting that sweet money, which you're going to see a load of like downfall. The only thing you're going to probably see now is people going there who want to drink and socialize again, that don't care about the staff workers. They just care about getting drunk. After being forced to close hundreds of pubs over the weekend to battle the spread of COVID-19, Martin sent a video to staff members claiming that he would be relying on the government to grant pay workers. Now, your net worth is over £40 million. I believe that you could pay your entire workforce, because you will gain that money back. You will gain it when like people say like, yeah, Weatherspoons is great to go to. Little things like that. But no, like you're going to lose more money. So it's going to be very interesting to see how you kind of cope with this. However, the grant will not be available to well over a month, and Martin, who is reportedly worth over 40 million, will not be covering staff wages until then. Over 40,000 workers have been left without a future pay date, unsure how they will be able to afford rent, bills, and groceries. This is disgusting. These companies are going to be claiming money. I mean, I think they personally won't give money to their staff. They'd rather rake it in a lot more. The fact is that your staff who have been there helping you make your fortune are literally now thinking, what do we do? How do we do this? And you know, in his video, he is clearly drunk, where he's just like, I don't give a shit. Fuck you, people. You know, I'm sitting in my mansion right now, drinking the finest of champagnes and wines and beers. You know, you can all just, oh, off you go. But if you can open up after April, that would be splendid. Why am I doing voices? Maybe that'll be my thing. Kind of a letter that went out. I think not a letter, but it was just like, no pay from Weatherspoons. After waiting for 3 days from word from our head office, today we've been informed that the company would pay us only for the hours worked up to the 22nd of March. From that point on, we will not receive any payment from JDW until they receive the government grant, which could be until the end of April. Whilst other companies such as Costa have promised their staff 8 weeks full paid, Weatherspoons have left over 40,000 people without their next pay date, which means no paying for rent, bills or food, and no warning. Employees have been stripped of bonuses we had already achieved, and with no confirmation as how to the 80% from the government will be calculated. Rather, in a video circulated to all staff of the company, CEO Tim Martin encouraged his staff should apply for Tesco's. It is clear that Weatherspoons hold no regard for the financial and mental well-being of their employees. We demand full pay, and that is true. It is absolutely disgusting that whatever, I don't know how old he is living his life, you know, as a millionaire, and then fucking over his staff. And this is absolutely disgusting. I know what will happen to that grant. So he will apply for it, and then he will calculate and go, actually, how much money can I keep of this? It's not money from my pocket, but I'm going to keep it anyway. And I reckon that he will literally go, well, this staff member, everyone's now been reduced. No, this will be the thing. Everyone's hours will be reduced to minimum. Like, oh, everyone's now working 8 hours. So if I therefore apply for a manager's hours and say, well, they're working 40, 50 hours, but actually now they're now down to 8, I can say that he's got, you know, we've got this money. I can keep the rest of that money and they can get 8 hours pay. Ah, beautiful. That will literally be the entire thing. Kind of continues. Other companies such as Costa have guaranteed that staff will be paid for 8 weeks, which is good. I don't like Costa that much, but I am very glad that they are paying their staff. I used to be the assistant manager there, so I'm more than happy to spend my money in Costa now rather than just be like, The move came shortly after Martin claimed the global pandemic was nothing more than a health scare and that closing pubs would be an over-the-top reaction. Of course it would be an over-the-top reaction to this, because you don't want to lose money. You want to make sure that your pockets is lined, because if your pub was the only place open, people would flock there. People would be guaranteed to kind of like overcapacitate so you could get that sweet money for crappy food that you make and alcohol which you can buy 10 times cheaper from a supermarket than like buying 2 pints. In a video sent to staff, which Martin appears holding a mug, he stated that the need to close puts everyone in a terrible position. No, it doesn't. It just puts you into a terrible position because you're not making that money whatsoever, and thus therefore you're losing profit, which you don't like. In this video he does say, and I know you're all sitting there wondering what the hell is happening, and over the weekend I have had lots of phone calls with different people and we're trying to sort out as best we can in this highly unusual situation. You basically probably rang like your accountant and went, all right, Bob, how do we deal with this? Yeah, fire them all. Yeah, that'll be the thing. Lower the hours. Stop their pay. Yeah, cool. That's what we'll do. He hasn't spoken to anyone. He's literally probably if he has, he's probably spoke to his friends in Parliament and gone, how can I get out of this? How can I make myself richer while I'm making my employees poorer? The Weatherspoons boss then encourages staff to go work at Tesco. He said, I know our trade has now gone to supermarkets, not only our trade, but our trade from cafes, leisure centres, restaurants, etc. So we've had lots of phone calls from supermarkets. Tesco alone want 20,000 people to join them. That's half the amount of people who work in our pubs. So can you imagine that they got 40,000 people that Tesco's are possibly paying more and actually helping out their staff compared to what you're doing? I can imagine when it's like, okay guys, here's a message to you. I've opened up the stores. Why is no one there? Like, you know, you can't walk out of your contract. You can't do this. You're contracted to do that, blah, blah, blah. By telling them that they can all go to Tesco's, I'm pretty much sure that you're just saying, well, you can either leave. If you leave, that's fine. But if you go to Tesco's, that's even fine. If you stay, that's fine. You just absolutely make me fucking sick. You know, you charge way too much for your food and your drinks, and they're all pretty shit. One then says staff members have their opinion to leave rather than waiting for payments to begin, and there's no guarantee that they would get their job back in a future date. And I think that the people should leave, and I would never look back. Now, if I was working for a company like this and I left, I wouldn't look back. I would want a company to actually hire me that would look after me, that would actually put my interests, that I could grow, I could lead, I could do what I wanted within reason of the company. But knowing that if something like this happens, that they would instantly say no, that they wouldn't care. Can you imagine if this happened again in a couple of years' time? And it's just like, you know, I've worked my way up to senior management or whatever, and it's like, hey, you're not getting paid. You can disappear now. Bye. Oh, that would irritate me. He said, if I'm honest, I could say you can get the forego payment and stay at home. You know, you're just basically keeping the money in your bank so you don't lose interest on something. If you're offered a job at a supermarket, many of you will want to do that. If you think it's a good idea, do it. So effectively, you're just saying, oh, I don't care. I really don't give a shit anymore. I can completely understand it. If you've worked for us before, I promise we will give you the first preference if you want to come back. Didn't you just say that there is no guarantee? So even if I did turn around and say that I wanted to come back, I'm not guaranteed my job. What? You're completely drunk in this one. I completely understand if you don't want to wait around for us to reopen, but deeply appreciate your work. No, you don't. You appreciate the fact that they made you money. The fact is that your company has opened and that's it. You don't give a flying crap about this. Okay, so kind of jumping into the next one really quickly. MPs have now ordered Weatherspoons and Sports Direct to explain themselves over the virus. And I think that should be fine. I think that they should be brought into Parliament, separated by the law that we've got. And I think now they should be let you go, why have you done this? Why are you not paying your staff? Why are you pretty much just being absolute arrogant assholes? And let them explain. And if it's something like, it's because we won't have enough money to pay for your staff, pay it out of your own pocket. You know, you've got more than enough money. You'll make that money back anyway as the shops and pubs open and people go there. You will have more money. But yet again, you're not looking after your staff, and that's really, really fucking disgusting. Now, I don't understand. Like, key workers to me are people within supermarkets, people who work on the NHS, nurses, doctors, etc., etc. I don't think key essential people are people who work in Weatherspoons, people that sell sports goods to people, you know, or even shops that don't sell the necessity things that you want or the necessary things that you need. So this is just something that really does kind of like really irritate me more than anything. And when I see companies be like this, it just makes me think, you're in it for the money. You're in it for yourselves right now. You hate the fact that, you know, that till isn't coming through, or you're getting reports from each sector or your like area managers that are saying like, hey guys, you know, today we made a turn of profit of like 50 million all around the UK, and you're going like, oh yeah. You know, I think that you took this entire whole situation and now you're saying workforce isn't valid to this. This just really irritates me. And the fact is that you can see that these people don't care. They just want that sweet, sweet cash right now, and they'll do anything to get it. I'm guessing that Mike Ashley also owns Jack Wells, and with this article saying staff at his Jack Wells chain will also be work on Tuesday. Now this was published on the 25th of March. It says like his staff at Jack Wills Chain will also work on Tuesday. The issue was raised by Prime Minister's questions on Wednesday, to which Boris Johnson said companies should obey the rules and accept the consequences. Now, I am not the biggest fan of Boris Johnson at all, but I really, really hope that he follows through with this and doesn't just give them a small fine, a slap on the wrist, and then take the money from the companies. I really want him to really come down hard on this, because if you're breaking the rules, and it will come down to the point of, if you're rich and powerful, you can do what you want, compared to where someone like myself or like normal people go outside for 5 minutes and we get a fine or something like that. We don't normally, it's over an hour. But you know, we get fined on the spot. In a letter to the pubs chief, Miss Reeves asked for detailed information about the measures that Weatherspoons is taking to support its employees during the current C virus. That sounds like Resident Evil. She added, this is a national emergency and government, citizens and businesses are taking unprepared measures to protect lives and livelihoods. I was therefore disappointed to read that you are not indirected whether you intend to cover your wages of your staff until government support comes through. And you know, you kind of think, what are you doing? You're just basically shitting on your staff and getting rid of them. This is despite other companies in your industry guaranteeing that they will pay their staff for at least 8 weeks. Furthermore, you also seem to have suggested that when the government do pay 80% of your staff's wages, you may not pay the remaining 20%. Finally, I am deeply concerned that you will encourage your workforce to go consider working for supermarkets. You note that if they do, you will give them first preference if they want to come back, which again will be a lie, and you won't. So I'm going to leave it there. I am disgusted in the fact that companies have been doing this, and that they think that it's absolutely perfectly fine to treat staff like shit. As soon as you are losing money, you don't need those staff members anymore. You think that everything should be the fact that you should be getting more money. And I guarantee you, if there was a way for you profiting, I think Weatherspoons said that they were going to do a food delivery service. Now, I'm sorry, if you do that, then I would rather spend my money on buying on shit. If McDonald's and all the fast food restaurants are closing down to protect their workers and probably paying them all and doing the same, then I think you can do the same. No one wants to eat shitty Weatherspoons food that doesn't come as pictured what you've got or whatever, because you scrimp and save on your money. So I will not be going to any of these places again, because why the fuck should I? Why should I care and give my money to these businesses that just don't want to help their employees, the people that make them the money? And this is something fucking disgusting. So I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts all on this? Do you think that Weatherspoons are in the right? Which, if you say they are, you are wrong. I'm going to state that now. Do you think that these companies should do? And if you say that, then yes, you are a great human being for saying that. I'm going to leave it there. If you like this sort of video and you want to see more, there are going to be more videos like this, more topic stuff, because quarantine. So yeah, I'm going to be making more stuff. If you like this sort of video and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And without that, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.